Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live trading session here in FX Street with Nailing FX. My name is Pedro Mejias, and as you may know, I'm using the order flow system to get my trades. Before we begin, let's read the disclaimers we see on the screen. The following video clips demonstration are for educational and instructional purpose only. Predictive provide these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating the method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that the hypothetical result obtained through the demonstration do not indicate in any way the result you may receive on using our products. All right. So as you see in the screen, my name is Pedro Mejias, and if you have any questions watching the recording, you can send me an email at any time at pedro@predictive.com. You can see it right there on the screen, right here. And if you want to get access to the tradewithufo.com indicators, you can go to this link, www.tradewithufo.com/Pedro. All right, so let's take a look at today's market, what we might expect today. Um, as you know, I trade the euro, so I'll show you the euro chart. You can see it today. And here on the screen is a trading view application. It's web-based charting application. And here we can use our trade with UFOs indicator. You can see here below this green lines and dots. These are the UFOs. And if there will be any on the top, it will be red because they are selling. But at the moment, they are not showing any selling at the top. So we can only see buyers here on the bottom. This is what is indicating. And here below, we can see the climate indicator show us the trend, what trend is at the moment that we're looking at the chart right now. And you can see some lines and some dots on the beginning of the line. There's a small dot here, for example, it's a blue dot. It means that it's not confirmed. But if when it's a big dot here, like this one, these red ones, it means that the trend is confirmed. Of course, we're looking this at a very short time frame. It's only 5 minutes. I prefer to trade in very short times like this because I think it's, at least for me, it's easier to, try to get what's going to happen next rather than looking at, an hour or day or whatever. I think it's harder to predict what's going to happen even longer in the future. So that's why I prefer to focus on what's going on at the moment. Okay. And to do that, I actually prefer to use my in combination with these indicators. I like to use my order flow software, which will tell me pretty much what's going on the market. Okay, so let me bring it up so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, here it is. And as you can see, well, it might be unfamiliar for you, but this is actually um, just bars, like like any candlestick chart. Let me just switch it to candles so you can see it now. See, it's the same candles at any chart. In this case, we're looking at, remember, the euro, okay, the euro futures, and we're using a 233 tick chart, which is not time based. Remember that the one we use in TradingView is 5 minutes, okay? And something similar to that will be 233 tick chart. But as this is not time based, it's based in contract order. When each candles would reach 233 contracts, it would create another one. So it's based on actual volume. Okay, so it's kind of like a volume chart, but this is tick. Okay, which is pretty much something very similar. And what we're looking here is that it's candlesticks, like any other chart, but there are some indicators that I have added to it to trying to understand better what's going on the market. And you might see a lot on the screen, but actually it's pretty simple. Let's forget about this bottom part here, where you see these bars. I will explain that later. But let's focus on the on the chart itself. I can explain to you what any of these indicators mean and how they help me to get through my trading day. All right. I think the most important one that I will always keep is this big WAP. This is the red line you see here, because it's telling me which is the average volume price, okay, during the session. And this is very used for is used by many traders, many institutional traders, professional traders. Use this as the fair price level, okay. But as I said before, I was looking for a quick movement, a quick short entry. So I don't use the VWAP as the fair price, but I use a deviation of this price. Okay, so it's deviation, two standard deviation from the VWAP, two on the top and two at the bottom. Okay, so I can know exactly. It's the same line. You can see it's pretty much the same line. It's it's one standard deviation and two standard deviation. Okay, so I only trade between these big WAP deviations. Okay, and the big WAP itself is actually also value for me. But I take this deviation as a very important price level, and it doesn't mean that I'm gonna enter every time it touches, because that's stupid. I actually use it as a reference when I'm looking for an entry. All right, but to look for that entry, I need more stuff, right? I need more confirmation. I need more information. Okay, so I have, you can see on the right side, there's the liquidity. Okay, which is exactly what is available, what is being offered in the market. Okay, in this case, in the euro market, and we can see the numbers of contracts being offered on the upper side and the bottom. Okay, these are buyers, these are sellers, but they're waiting for the price to reach the level. Okay, they are not being any aggressive or anything. They're just waiting patiently for the price to touch their order. Okay, but there also provides a market for liquidity. Okay, there is two sides of this. So it's liquidity, and there are pending orders. You might be a market maker just by putting an order here. That's what you will be at that time. Okay, and you can see the number of pending orders in each side, sellers and buyers. And you can use that information if you are planning to make any entry, because you would know exactly how many contracts are there. And also, they will confirm your theories, because if there are a lot of contracts in a level you're looking at, that means something. That means that somebody else is looking at it too. And this somebody else have a lot of contracts on it. Remember what I told you about the deviation? So you can see on the big WAP, the first standard deviation upper, there's 120 contracts right below that deviation. A little bit higher than that is 109. So that means something. That means that somebody is paying attention to these levels. Okay, so that kind of confirm what you're looking at, and it works pretty good. Also, you can see these red and green lines. These red lines and this green one crossing the, all over the screen. Well, this indicates when imbalance happen. Okay, and imbalance is a difference between buyers and sellers. In this case, aggressive buyers and sellers. And when there's a lot of different, depending on how you set this indicator, it can be set around 80 and 90% different, even 100% different between one side and the other. It will draw you a green or a red line, depending is buyers or sellers. And sometimes, or most of the time, when price reaches this level, you can see here, for example, is right here in the example here. This it went down, the price went down from here, and there was an imbalance for the buyers here. And because we are in a downtrend at this moment, this will work as as a resistance level. And you can see it's also right on the deviation line, and we can see also that we have 122 pending contract right there, right? So that means something. That's probably means that, you know, somebody's looking at this level and the price is being respected. But we can see even, more inside what's actually happened here, or what happened, and what to expect in the future. We can see how now the price is coming back up, and probably something's going to happen at this level. But let's try to see, you know, let's highlight these areas here. You can see how in this rotation area here and this one, price always tend to go up and down, up and down. And there's another one here. You can see how it breaks up. This is a perfect example. Let me just show you this. You will see how good this works. Okay, let me just highlight this rotation here. So we can put it like this. So this is the rotation from the beginning of the market. You can see how it rotates, and then it breaks up. See how it breaks up? Now, this is very interesting because when there's a rotation, there's a breakup, price will always tend to go back to this area, because there will be what I call second chances for the losers, because if you were selling here, this area, whatever price is, and the price just break up, you will be losing money, right? And there's only one way to get out of a losing position is, sell it or be forced to sell it. If you can hold the movement, then you will wait for the price to get back, close your entry, or some place acceptable for you to take the loss. And when that happens, what you would do is just close the position. And if you are selling, you need to buy the position back, right? And if you buy the position back, a lot of people buy the position back. What we'll do is just push the price up again. So let's say that, well, we can see a lot of sellers here, right? There's a lot of red candles. We can actually see inside the candles. Let me just open this up so we can see that. Okay, we can see how many sellers, how many buyers in each candle. How much did they bought? Okay, how much did they sell? We can see everything. What happened? This is it's a footprint. We can see exactly what happened. This is undeniable. Okay, what's going on here? And then we get the breakout. You can see a lot of buyers here, or maybe a single buyer pushing the price up, right? Making this up movement. You can see how it moved on the upside now. Okay, that's very it's happened almost the same way all the time. You can see how it breaks, because we have a lot of buyers here from the bottom. You can see how they push the price up. Okay. And as I told you before, you will see price are still higher. So if you are losing here, you're still losing money, right? But then price will, you can see how it goes higher, higher and higher. And then it should go back to this area. Here it is. You can see how it went back to this area. And you can see the buyers, how aggressive they are now. 105, 51. This is our imbalances, okay? But if you add this all up, you can see here, okay? All the asks, all the bids, and the difference between each one. Okay, you can see all this information here at the bottom. This is like a resume of the candle, what happened with the candle. Okay, if it's green, how much green? What's the difference? Okay, we can see a 65 delta, which means there were a lot of more buyers than sellers being aggressive at this point. And who are they? Probably losers, people who were selling in this range, and they now have an opportunity to get out. Okay, so what they do is just buy back their position. Okay, they buy their position back to get out of the market. If you were heavily into the market, you will buy heavily to get out, right? And that will just make the price go up. Okay, that what will happen. That will make all the prices, um, on a buying again. Okay, and remember when we talk about the 124 contract here nearby this deviation, it might works the other way, because you were a buyer in this range and you start to losing money. You will seek for an opportunity to sell your contract, okay, and that will push the price down again. So it's always the same thing. So with the same movements happens all the time in the market. As you can see here, let me show you again my email address. And as you can see, my email address is there. It's pedro@predictive.com. You can send me anytime an email. We'll reply you back if you have any question. And you want to get access to the order flow software too, you should send me an email. I will send you the download links and some instructions on how to get it running. It's pretty simple, but it's very, very powerful. At the beginning, you might think, oh, this is too complicated, but actually will simplify your life a lot, because different from most traders, they don't have any information on the market. They only see bars and candles and maybe a lagging indicator somehow, I don't know, Fibonacci or whatever weird thing people use, but they don't do data. The difference that we're making here is we use data for trading, use real-time data and real data. So of course, to get this information, you will need a data feed that will provide you with all the liquidity on the market, all the trades, where are the trades, what's happening, who's been aggressive. You will be able to see the depth of market. Okay, let me show you the depth of market, for example, so you can have an idea how it looks like. Here it is. Open up a little bigger. Okay. So you can see here, for example, you can see it's pretty easy to understand once you have to adapt yourself to this type of things in order to understand it quickly. Here's the price. It's in gray. I mean, you can put this any color you like, even any shape. You have what's available, what are the pending orders in the buying side here, and on the selling side, all the pending orders. You can see the volume, okay, on the right side here, all the volume of the session, okay, and the trades that is being made while you were watching this, because you can clear this up and you can see how many trades that are being made at each level. Okay, so you can actually understand and see um, the aggressiveness of traders here, which is actually what moves the market. The price move only when a trader takes whatever is available on the pennies order. Okay, pennies orders are just there to provide liquidity, and the traders who actually move the market are the aggressive ones who they are not willing to wait for their price to be reached. So you just put an order and take whatever is available at that price range. Okay, and we can see that in real time how many of them are actually being executed. Okay, which side, and we can see all the volume here. Okay, so you can. Some people even just trade by just looking at this. That's pretty hard. You would need a lot of experience to do that, but it's totally possible just to trade out of this. Okay, but I mean, I won't recommend it because I like to see more information. Okay, than just this, or maybe this information, but expressed in a simpler way. And I think the simplest way to look at this information is in a chart, like the one you're looking at right now. I mean, this is the same thing. You can see here, this each number. You can see here. Let me see if I can put it bigger for you guys. Okay, just to put out this the example easier to understand. Each of these numbers are market orders. Okay, and these market orders are only taking what is available on the liquidity, okay, which is the what we just saw before, the depth of market, okay, what is available on each side. And here we can see in real time what is being traded, okay, what is being either is a buyer or seller. We can see how aggressive traders are taking these orders that are pending there. Okay, that's very powerful because you actually know what's going on. Okay, how many buyers, how many sellers, you know exactly what's going on. And the liquidity also, you can see exactly how many pending sellers are, 8,200 or something. How many buyers pendings are, 6,538 right now. Okay, so you have this information. This you cannot get this information in any other way. If you get a depth of market on many platforms, you will only get like 10 positions, right? But in here, with a proper data feed, you will get all the way, I mean, the hundreds of columns of pending orders. You can see until they are known. You can see way up for the sellers. Okay. And you can stop whenever you want. And then you can go back on the buyers as well. I mean, it's unlimited, okay, depending on how you set it up. So you know exactly where the pending orders are, either buyers or sellers. All you have to do, one of the things you really have to do well is to know your bias, okay? Because you don't know your bias, or you do that wrong, then it's not going to be that good. For example, here, this is a tool called All Prices, and you can see pretty much where the highest volume is, most traded price. Remember that price is one of the most important thing, okay, or the most important thing here to look at because you will know exactly what happened at that price. Okay, what volume was, how many trades, how many bids, how many asks there were there, what was the difference in each one. So you can look up for, I don't know, higher volume, higher trades, higher bids. So you can know, looking for interesting areas on the chart. Okay, by doing this, you can develop your trading strategy, volume based, of course, and on whatever you want. I mean, where were the most traded price? What was the most traded volume? most big bid, most big ask, everything you can see here. And once you get your bias, the rest is easier because all you need is information, and you have all the information you can get here. Another thing you can look at, is the tape. Tape is has been used for many years on the trading, and here you can see everything in real time what's being traded. This is filtered because you can filter the tape. I only look at big trades, from 20 lots. Okay, the rest is won't be record here. It's accumulated, yes. You can see the price at what happened was how many ticks move the price up or down. You can see in these symbols. For example, this one, you can see here move the price 3 ticks up. Okay, and you can see how was the column, the sellers and the buyers, 43 against 46, right? And the time that happened, everything, the average price, everything you can see here. You can also filter this as you wish in order to get the information you would like to have. Okay, on the chart you can have all this stuff I just show you, which are in separate ways. Just put on the chart, and that's very easier to understand because you're more familiar to look at charts, as everybody else. And but instead of just looking at candlesticks, you were looking at candlestick with a lot of information on it that you can actually use. Okay, this is how you can see exactly how um, support levels are created because they're created with volume. Okay, how resistance levels also are created because you can see the imbalances in the top. Okay, you can see the here how they push the price up with a lot of buying here. Okay, you can see everything. Nothing is high from you this way, and that's the problem with most forex traders because they are practically going blindfolded. A professional trader sees this. Okay, they see this information. They are specialized in looking at this information and know exactly what to do, and know exactly when to do it and how to do it. And you are just only looking at a candlestick, with I don't know, an oscillator, Fibonacci or whatever useless thing people use on the chart. But here is actually what professionals do, what they look at. They look at volume, they look at trades, but we're looking at this, in a simple way, in a way we can easily understand. Because as I told you in the beginning, these are only candles. See, you can put these as candles, and you can see what's inside the candles and understand why it's moving up and why it's moving down, and where you should enter and where you should put your stop. Everything is here um, on this type of, of chart because you have every information you need here. You have any question? Remember, you can use the chat right now here on the effect treat, or if you are looking the recording and you want just to ask me later, not live, you can send me an email at pedro@predicted.com. And if you want to get the trade with UFO indicators, which are pretty useful, you can use in combination with the order flow. You can go to tradewithufo.com/Pedro at any time. And if you want access to the order flow software, just send me an email. I will send you the links so you can download it. Understand that it will require a data fee, okay, to get the information from the market. Most brokers, forex brokers mostly, they give you a free data feed, but it's their own data feed. I mean, they only show you what's going on in their broker. Here we have a futures market feed. So it's a regulated market. So everybody sees the same thing. And the Forex market actually based on the futures market. It, Forex market actually is something invented by the brokers. So what you see there is just this fictional product based on the futures product. Okay. So the data here is very useful. It's not the same price. You won't see the same price. It will be a different price always. But if you like to trade on Forex broker, you will see the same candlestick formation, pretty much the same. So you can enter whatever the peak or bottom or whatever thing you see on the chart. Very similar to the futures chart. You can use it. Okay, and it's very, very useful and very powerful because you get a lot of info here and very useful information. Let's see if we can, looking at this right now, we can see some off per movement here. Maybe we can find some trades for the few minutes we have left. Let's see. Let's look at the trade at the top. Okay, so we can use this information we have right now. I see, for example, here some rotation on the upper side. You can see how it breaks down here on this candle, and it's actually getting pretty close. So let's see. I like this one. This is a very powerful down candle here. 1203. Let's look at the cluster. Let's look at that candle. It is this one right here. So let me just expand this. This one right here. And I like to see the volume in this area. Okay, we can see what I like to look in volume is where there's almost no volume. You can see here at this, it's only 5. So I like to highlight it. And you can see how close it is from the deviation right now. You can see right now here. So I'm gonna put a sell order here. Okay, now it's fell. And what I like to do is wait. Price will beginning to move down, hopefully, and give us some profit at the moment. My exit is here. It's pretty close because there's a deviation here. Okay, remember that I look for quick move and just get in and get out fast as I can because it's very hard to predict futures movement. So it's easier if you predict short movement than larger ones. Larger ones are you're just guessing there, right? Here at least we have some information of what happened, and there's sellers here, and we can have more chances. This is a a chance thing because if you try to guess a bigger movement, your chances are going to be really low. Okay. Carlos, you're asking me, as I suppose this volume profile tends to be more useful on the future. No, in every market. Okay. The problem with Forex brokers, they don't show you volume because it's not, they will only show you their volume. I mean, their broker volume. Okay. But in the futures market, you will see the whole market futures. Okay. The whole future market volume, everything. And the good thing is that the products that Forex broker use are based on the futures. Okay, so it's the same movement. You can compare right now this chart with any Forex chart, and you will see it's the same movement. Okay, so you can use this in any market, I mean the Forex or the futures market too. Okay, you have to get the same levels. Well, as you can see, we got out of the market right now with a profit. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Of course, I only open with one contract. You could open with whatever contract you are comfortable with. Stop loss, I always put my stop loss behind the rotations area. In this case, we about here, but I always look at the liquidity, so it will be right here about this 126 because it's higher liquidity available nearby my rotation area. And well, we got out of the market perfectly with a profit very fast, as I always do when I do. When I don't, if I get a loss, it will be right behind this rotation area, looking at the liquidity always. Same for taking profit. I will take for the next, before the next deviation or the next imbalance, always looking at liquidity. Okay. So well, I think that's pretty much it. If you have any other question, remember that you can always use my email. Let me just put it bigger here. Pedro@predicted.com. You have any question? Let me see. Carlos, you have another question. You find using the ICD Forex chart in volume helpful? It provides us with an average volume of MOFs is not all Forex broker. No, I mean the Forex broker volume they will show you is only their volume. Okay, and it's completely useless because besides being only their own volume, it will be shown to you in vertical way. Okay, which means that okay this candle have a lot of volume, but that's completely useless because you need to know at which price was the volume. Okay, that's very important. You need to exactly know which price. That's why you can see here. I always look at the horizontal volume. Okay, because I know exactly at which price we had that volume. Okay, that's another thing. Paul, I use Hawk Eye Traders Vol indicator. I don't know that indicator, Paul, but um, volume is useful if you look at it horizontally because you know exactly at what price the volume happened. Just like I show you on the, let me look at the oil price. Just go for it again. Give me a second. Here, oil price. Okay, with oil price, you know exactly um, the volume at each price. Okay, so you want to see, oh, where was the most volume? Here it is, on 1.18925. Okay, you want to do something with it. You want to find, of course, this is going to be the big WAPs promedian or center point. You can see here 195 and it's 25. It's pretty close. Okay, it's on the same price range. So it's the biggest volume, and it actually is being traded right now. You can see here the 25. Okay, this is the biggest volume. So the volume have to be horizontal always because it will indicate you the price where the volume happened. Okay. Um, Carlos, for a particular broker, but I see the charting candles is an average or for a broker. I was asking you. I mean, I don't know if it's actually average on or for this broker. I don't have that information. But if it is, of course, it's useful because you will have, pretty much picture of the whole market, right? That's what we want. We don't want to be blindfolded. We want to see what everybody is looking at. Professional traders will look at this. Okay, they will see this kind of tools because they know exactly where you are. They know where your position is. I can see somebody's here, somebody over here, somebody's selling this at this price and is there. So if actually we need to have that information to be accurate. Paul, will this software give you accurate entry? Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what we're looking for. You see that what we just did? I enter here. You see any tick up of my entry? None. Exactly where I entered, the price went down. Okay, because I saw the volume here. Okay, I knew that the price won't go any higher than this. You can see this 119 and there's a 5. Okay, that's accurate. That's totally precision. And the exit can be better, yes, but I just did it for example. So here it is. Carl, yes, the key about ICD, they cannot provide us with the live data only after market activity. Okay, I don't know about that, Carlos, but what I have here is a data feed directly from the market, and I can see in real time what's going on. Okay, I mean, I think there's nothing better than this, for me at least. I have tried a lot of stuff, yeah, over the years. I have seen a lot of things, and this is pretty much what I do, what I like. No, it's not a broker, Carlos. You can have this in just for charting, okay? But there are some brokers that can actually use this directly on the platform as well. Yeah, what I have there is it's called the data fee. It's rhythmic. You can see here on the bottom of the all prices. It's rhythmic. Okay, I get the data from them. Um, Paul, interested to know if the bank share your stock with this short data fee service. Yeah, yeah, Carlos. Paul, yeah, of course. They know where you are. I mean, they can see where you are. They can see where you bought. They can see how many contracts you bought or you're selling. Okay, they know everything. We can see it here too. Okay, we have the same information. That's the point. Okay, we need to be at the same level. Of course, they will have more knowledge. They will have even more tools, more people just focusing in one thing, experts. And one advice for you guys is focus on one thing only. Okay, in one asset. I only trade the euro, for example. Okay, and if you specialize, you will have more chances than if you go all over the place, because nobody that is professional in this go all over the place. They only trade one or maybe two things at the most. Okay, just for you to know that. Yeah, no, this is for everything, Carlos. You can trade here. I mean, it's the whole market, even Bitcoin or anything you can chart here. All you need is the right data feed, okay? That provides you with, where everything you're trying to look at. Let me see if I can show you. No, I think it's here. But you can get anything here from the system. Let me just get the right page here, for example. I can get a chart, and you can see here instruments, whole US and Euro futures market, US stock, Russian market, crypto, US stocks, everything's here. Depending on the data feed you have, okay, you will have different markets, because every market we have like a price or something for the data feed. You can have Amex, Nasdaq, NYSE, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, anything. So it's different depending on what you're gonna trade. Okay. Okay, guys. Time's up, and thank you for being here. And if you have any question watching the recording, just send me an email, pedro@predictive.com. Okay, I'll be happy to reply you back. And thank you, guys, and hope to see you next time, next Monday on YouTube. You can see the YouTube link there, straightwithyou4.com. And see you then, guys. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.